If it hadn't have bounced off the post, it had been missed by Rochdale, and Featherstone were through to score the try. It bounced, ricocheted off the post, and Rochdale touched it, and then I think a Featherstone player must have touched it, and Bostock picked it up in an offside position.
I was just watching Ian Hardman then when the referee gave that penalty, and he was going absolutely livid down in front of us, in front of this stand. Not happy with that at all. A real let-off there for Rochdale Hornets. So they've got the penalty. They're going to restart this set. We've had 11 minutes of the second half. It's still Featherstone Rovers 2, Rochdale Hornets 8. Here's the drive in from Gavin Benyon. But Rovers have started the second half better, Joanne.
They have, yes. It's about composure, isn't it? And Featherstone just need to be showing a bit more of that. But Rochdale with a little scoot there with Ben Morse from dummy half. Lockwood and Alunya in the tackle, but he made a good 10-15 metres to Morse there.
Saw that Jason Walton couldn't get involved in that ruck there. So able to get scoop from Maxine half.
Getting the ball away. Gary Middlehurst pushing a couple of players off. He's making some space out on the left-hand side. Hardcastle goes, but Rochdale put a grubber in. And it's collected there by Luke Briscoe on that Featherstone Rovers right-hand side. Rochdale look a little bit offside at that play of the ball, but referee's not given anything. Featherstone baying for a penalty, but it's not forthcoming. And Featherstone seem to be stuck in the mud on their own 15-metre mark.
At the moment, there seems to be. Here's Andy Bostock now. That's a high tackle by Gavin Benyon on Andy Bostock. So Rovers have got the penalty that they wanted, not for what they wanted, but they'll take the penalty.
They certainly needed that because that was going to be the last tackle, I do believe, and Featherstone Rovers had only made it to 25 metres away from their own line, so it'd have been a tricky kick.
One thing I will say, it's a quick tap from Thackeray to Richard Moore, who's on.
The players are slipping and sliding all the time out there at the minute. It's like an ice skating rink.
You've got to give credit to this Rochdale defence, though, this afternoon. It's been superb. And what a hit that is on Lockwood.
Was it by Jovalisi Tyra?
It was, and
here's the ball coming to John Davis through the middle of the field. And he's lost the ball. Again. He's given a penalty as the referee for reefing the ball out. So Featherstone Rovers with another penalty. But yeah, just going back to that previous play, great hit by Tyra on Lockwood, but Lockwood still managed to get the ball away, and it was good play by him.
The referee there speaking to the Hornets captain, I think, or to Miles Greenwood he was actually speaking to. So Rovers find touch. They're going to have a full set in the Hornets 40 now. Aston finds Richard Moore.
Moore just had to dip a bit to take that ball then. Ferocious defence by Rochdale.
It's been outstanding, the Hornets defence this afternoon. Here's Aston again. He takes that tackle on the Hornets 30. Appealing for something there. Here's Andy Bostock. Rovers 25 metres out. Straight in front of the uprights. Here's Thackeray again. He finds Jason Walton, bounces off one. Gets up to the 10-metre line. 5 metres to the left of those uprights. Plays the ball to Carlisle. Here's Thackeray again. Thackeray to Alunya. Chris Alunya is over. The Featherstone Rovers. It was worked up the field. It was moved out wide through the hands of Anthony Thackeray to Chris Alunya, and finally a chink opened up in that Rochdale defence. And Chris Alunya, as he did against Batley, able to skip through and get the ball down 12 metres in from touch on this left-hand side. And with 15 minutes gone in the second half, it's Featherstone Rovers 6, Rochdale 8.
Yeah, a try at last, and that comes from being patient in the build-up. Although, not sure what's happening here. The referee's just blown his whistle and he wants to talk to Andy Bostock. We'll just talk about the try in a moment, just see what's happening here. Why the referee's called Andy Bostock back is having a chat with him about something. I'm not sure if something's happened in back play after that try was scored. Okay, so Andy Bostock returns with his teammates.
But just going back to that try from Chris Alungia, very similar to the try scored in that more or less identical place in the home game against Oldham.
Yeah, in similar conditions as well.
So is that his third try of the season for Alungia? He's certainly got at least three, hasn't he?
Yeah. Here's Corey Aston with the conversion attempt.
Oh, what a kick!
And
from Corey Aston.
It goes through the uprights to that from Corey Aston. So that's his first points for Featherstone Rovers in a competitive game. So that brings the scores level. Featherstone Rovers 8, Rochdale Hornets 8 with 16 minutes of this game remaining.
And that's welcome the 24 minutes this game remaining, you mean? 16 minutes gone in the second half.
16 minutes gone in the second half.
That's welcome the Rovers faithful up, Joanne, hasn't it? The roar when that kick went over, and as Rovers were setting the positions back up, what they must do now is they need a clean set. Back this up, complete your set, get the kick away, and then get the territory, Joanne.
And what I was saying was that it was the patient build-up to that Alungia try that was so pleasing to see, because that's not what Featherstone have been doing in this game. They've been perhaps not playing the conditions very well, but in that set of 6, it was good to see. And Featherstone with possession now, taking it 45 metres away from their own line.
So 5 metres short of halfway. It's Aston again, finds Bostock. Bostock on the charge, gets up to halfway, but good defence again from Rochdale.
Seen plenty of the ball as Andy Bostock, hasn't he, while he's been on the field.
Here's Thackeray now. Thackeray sees a gap. Thackeray's through a gap. He's got to Paul Walton. It's off the Hornets. Outstanding defence from Rochdale Hornets. Anthony Thackeray through a gap. And it was knocked back by the Rochdale Hornets to make it dead, Joanne.
That was fantastic play, wasn't it, by both sets of teams. That break had come through. Jason Walton looked to be going towards the line, but he recognised he wouldn't make it. He attempted to pass it out to the left to Alungia, but it was Jack Holmes, I think, for Rochdale Hornets, who managed to just get in the way and tap that ball dead for a drop out to Rochdale. So it's still a good end to that set of 6, but another close opportunity for Featherstone. As this dropout comes, it's gone further this time.
This game's suddenly woken up in the past 5 minutes.
It goes to the 40-metre line with Hardman. Hardman takes it forward 5 metres, so Featherstone Rovers 35 metres away from the Rochdale line, and it's played the ball to Bostock. Bostock, like I say, been seeing lots and lots of this ball. He's put a real stint in while he's been on the field. Comes to Lockwood. Lockwood passes it to Moore. Moore drives the ball forward 15 metres away from the Rochdale line at that railway, and it goes to the left to Walton. Walton wrapped up 5 metres short by 2 Rochdale defenders. Carlisle waits for that play of the ball, and he passes it over to Thackeray. Thackeray on the inside to Lockwood. Lockwood brings it back to that left-hand side. It's the last tackle now. Carlisle to Thackeray. Thackeray puts a little kick towards the post, and it just goes so close. The Featherstone Rovers crowd behind the sticks are screaming for a knock-on. The referee says play on, though, and Rochdale bring it away.
Sam Wilde has come back on for the Hornets. He's replaced Josh Crowley. Rovers fans on that far side baying for a scrum down head and feet to Rovers. But this game's really woken up. The Rochdale have lost the ball, have put it to ground.
It's Rochdale's turn to be forcing the pass out on the flanks now.
I think Rovers have got Rochdale rattled, you know. This past 10 minutes, Rovers have really come alive in this game since that missed penalty almost.
Rattled Rochdale, a nice bit of alliteration there. So
thank you.
Featherstone Rovers 30 metres away from the Rochdale line with this scrum.
Need to make this territory count now. Need to put points on the board again.
It's about time for Featherstone Rovers to start turning the screw, isn't it?
The thing is, though, Rovers are capable of doing that, Joanne. They've got the players in the team who can take it up that extra gear. And here's one of those players now in Thackeray. Shows the ball and takes on the line himself. Is well wrapped up though by Middlehurst in that tackle. Carlisle waits. He will take that ball from out in half. He'll move that on to Hardcastle. Hardcastle's had a good game this afternoon. Carlisle again. Here's Aston. He shows and goes. Rovers 12 metres out. Couple metres to the right to the uprights. Ball's with John Davis. Davis tries to get through a gap. Bounces off one. Gets the ball inside to Aston.
What a fantastic tackle there by Rochdale. Was it Tyra?
I think it was. Here's Johnny Davis again. Thackeray.
Oh. Shocking pass there, wasn't it? Thackeray had to... No way. It was too high for Thackeray from Davis, and he had to just fist the ball towards the left-hand side, and it went straight into a Rochdale player's arms. So not great play there by Featherstone Rovers, and Rochdale come up with the ball now 40 metres away from their own line. They're looking to get into the Featherstone half. They've not visited there for a long time. So it comes out to Yates. Yates gets it out to that left-hand side. Rochdale into the Featherstone half now. They play the ball. Comes over to Yates again. And it goes with Rochdale. They're 35 metres away from the Featherstone line. It goes to Tyra. Tyra shows the ball and then straightens up. Takes it over the 30-metre line, and it's the last tackle for Rochdale. So the ball's going to come to Palfrey, and he puts a high kick into the air. Hardman takes it well, though. But he's tackled by Ben Moores in the chase. No, sorry, not Ben Moores. It was Jordan Case, sorry, for Rochdale. And he took it really well, did Hardman, into there.
Ian Hardman safe as you like underneath that ball. And Rovers now. That was a high tackle from the Hornets on Luke Briscoe. So Rovers need to get that ball upfield. And I think with 18 and a half minutes left, it could come down to something as simple as a 1 pointer. This.
It's in the middle of the field, so we need to, Featherstone Rovers need to find touch with this. It's coming straight for us.
So Rovers are going to start on their own 40. And here goes Richard Moore. Mariano has come back on for Featherstone Rovers. Off goes James Lockwood. Here's Chris Alungi now.
Can we just say as well, James Lockwood, what a great first game back he's had today. He's played really well, hasn't he?
He has indeed. Carlisle's pass. Rovers. Walton juggles it. He gets the ball out wide. What are we doing?
Capers then, wasn't it? Jason Walton juggled with the ball. He found himself in a gap. He got it out, but it was a high pass to Turner, who then patted it to Alunya. Turner juggled with it, got it to Alunya. Alunya completely missed it, and it's gone into touch. So it's a Rochdale scrum.
We don't need to do this, Joanne.
Well, that there from Walton, it was a potential break. I could see why he was wanting to get it out to Turner, but the pass just wasn't the best, was it? Let's say.
No. But
it's frustrating.
When we think how Rovers have played over the past few weeks in the build-up to this game today.
I mean, the conditions are terrible. If you were going to look for any kind of reason why this is happening, the conditions, I mean, the rain is still coming down out there, and it's driving rain as well. So I know it's the same for both teams, and I think it's had an effect on this game. That's a knock-on at the play the ball by Rochdale, though. So Featherstone Rovers are going to get a scrum just inside, exactly on halfway, actually. So Rochdale with that mistake, like I was saying, it's same for both teams. Is this these conditions, and they're both being affected by it.
They are indeed. It's a scrum down on halfway then to Featherstone Rovers. Another opportunity. We've got 15 minutes left. Dare you try and call this one?
It's going to go Featherstone Rovers' way, of course.
Okay, so Rovers feed that scrum. Here's Ian Hardman now. Hardman tries that ball in. 5 metres into the Rochdale half. He'll play that ball to Carlisle. Here's Richard Moore now. Moore up to the Hornets 40. Carlisle waits, he moves that into Andy Bostock. Bostock on the charge, gets up to the 30. He plays the ball again to Carlisle. Here's Johnny Davis now.
That's a penalty against Featherstone Rovers.
Mariano.
Yeah, mix up there with John Davis and Mariano in attack. Mariano got in the way of the people that was the Rochdale players that were attempting to tackle John Davis. He ran in tandem with Davis almost, didn't he, and got in the way. So that's a penalty to Rochdale, which is relieving for them, and they're going to bring it forward over their own 40-metre line, but they've lost the ball. They've lost the ball, and it's picked up. So Featherstone Rovers
have an opportunity.
Go further 5 metres forward. They're on the 30-metre line now with Luke Briscoe,
and
he loses the ball.
And was it enough of an advantage played there for Mr. Hewitt to say continue to hold them?
Yeah, and the touch judge is on the field. I think Luke Briscoe wasn't very happy with the attention that he caught there. So Rochdale with the offload to Daniel Yates. Daniel Yates gets wrapped up by John Davis.
The most recognisable player on the Rochdale team is Daniel Yates.
He is. I don't think he is now, though, because he's just gone in a bit of mud. So Rochdale bringing it forward now with Sam Wild. He takes it up to the 40-metre line. And it goes out to the left with Yates. He shows it goes, but Carlisle wraps him up well. That's a good play by Carlisle. He brings him down on the Featherstone 30. It looks a bit of a floating forward past that from Rochdale, but they're up to 20 metres away. And Ben Moores shows it, and he goes to the left, and it comes out to the left with Rochdale, and they're 6 metres away from the Featherstone line with the last tackle now. Comes out to Yates. Yates dances with the ball a little, puts a little grubber through. There's a mix-up, and Rochdale look to be over.
Hang on 1 minute.
I think the
referee's going to speak to his touch
I think he might be looking for offside here,
yes,
and that's correct, yeah.
Oh.
So when that kick was put through by Daniel Yates, I said that he danced with the ball a little bit first before he kicked it, and I think he allowed his teammate to just creep in an offside position. So the touch judge was on the ball there and said to Gareth Hewitt, no try. So Featherstone with that penalty.
Corey Aston's penalty slicing off the boot. It maybe made a couple of metres. So Rovers starting out 25 metres out now.
Hearts in the mouths of a few Featherstone Rovers fans there,
it's a real nail-biting game, isn't it? It's so captivating. Here's Richard Moore now over the 40. That's a great drive from Richard Moore. Here's Johnny Davis. He's not tackled. He gets the ball away to Carlisle. Here's Thackeray now. He finds Walton. He's had a good game this afternoon, Jason Walton.
He has. Is it just me who holds my breath every time we do short passes like that, though?
Here's Richard Moore again. He finds Walton again to Alunya. Alunya takes that tackle. Rovers on the last. They're on the Rochdale 30-metre line. Thackeray tries to dance through, juggles the ball, gets the ball away to Aston. Aston tries to kick through. He does get boot to ball, but it's not the best kick. What a tackle that was from Corey Aston.
Featherstone Rovers with the ball now. Luke Briscoe, it's a free play, I do believe, is it? Featherstone Rovers, it's on the inside, and the ball's played, it comes out.
We'll come back to that in a minute.
Josh Hardcastle with the ball 20 metres away from the Rochdale line. So Featherstone in a really good position here. What are they going to do? We've got Lockwood bringing the ball forward. 12 metres away. And it's a drop goal attempt from Thackeray.
Yes.
Thackeray is successful with the drop goal. You called it, Ben. So that puts Featherstone Rovers 1 point ahead with 12 minutes remaining in this game. Featherstone Rovers 9, Rochdale Hornets 8.
I said it could come down to a drop goal this afternoon. It's that type of game. It is a very tight game. Rovers are sneaked in front this afternoon, in fact, through an Anthony Thackeray drop goal, and that could prove to be the game breaker. If Rovers can complete this set, get up the right end of the field, all they need now is the game management that we know that Anthony Thackeray and Corey Aston have got. Finding touch, turning the defence around, Keep our defence solid, Joanne.
Do you think it'll be a short kick-off from Rochdale, this, or do you think they'll be going for the deep one and hunt the mistake?
It could go either way because these conditions, anything could happen.
Anything.
Anything, literally.
Just waiting for the referee to get to the middle of the field here at the moment. He was on the sideline.
It's a deep kick-off.
It's a deep and high one.
It is. It's
Carlisle's.
Fumbled it, but he dropped it backwards.
Carlisle did very well there. He made sure that he was facing his own post. So even if he dropped the ball, it went backwards. So
an escape.
So yeah, an escape. Rochdale hunting the mistake, I guess, then from Featherstone Rovers. And that's a knock-on. There it is.
Got the mistake.
Talking about the ball was knocked on at during the play, the ball there. So, like I said, Rochdale will be hunting that mistake from Featherstone. They've got it, and they've got a scrum 22 metres away from the Featherstone line.
Nail-biting stuff this afternoon at the Big Fella Stadium, Joanne. It really is. It's one of those low-scoring, but games that's just non-stop, isn't it?
I think all our games are this season, haven't they? Apart from the Batley game, most of them have been nail-biting games, haven't they? So...
Well, this one and the two home games we've had have been especially.
Yes, yeah.
So here come Oldham then. Here's Balfrey.
Rochdale, yeah.
Rochdale even, sorry. Here's Case.
So Rochdale 20 metres away from that line.
Here's Gavin Benyon. Former Halifax and Featherstone player, of course, Gavin Benyon.
And one of the crowd below us shouted, "No penalties, lads." That's a very good point, because if Rochdale get a penalty... Oh, the ball's been lost by Greenwood.
They've lost the ball. I did have thought for half a second he wasn't going to give that then.
I think he was deciding, was Mr. Hewer.
Like a half-second hesitation before he blew then.
Yeah.
But no, he did give it, so...
Miles Greenwood spilt the ball there as he was looking to put some pressure against that Featherstone Rovers defence. The clock is stopped because we've got a Featherstone Rovers player on the haunches down there. Is it Keel Carlisle?
Not sure who that is.
I think it's Keel Carlisle, isn't it?
I think it is, yes.
He's just having a drink. It looks as though he's okay to return to play.
He's had another monumental effort this afternoon, Keel Carlisle, hasn't he? He's very much a machine in the mould of Andy Ellis.
Yeah, the ball comes out now to Ian Harman. So Featherstone doing it tough from
just
their own 20 metre. Uppy jumpers.
Yeah, if they're wearing jumpers.
Yeah. So Hardcastle now. He makes some metres forward. He's quite effective with the ball driving forwards, is Hardcastle. Strong player. It comes to the middle to Richard Moore.
Hold the ball.
I don't think he's got any choice because the hands of Ben Moore's around the ball on Richard Moore, and the driving back. That's good defence from Rochdale. Comes out to Lockwood. And he takes it up to the 40-metre line. Again, goes forward on his knees. Goes to Davis. Davis shows the ball, but he gets wrapped up. That's a good tackle there by Rochdale, by Tyree. It comes out on the last to Aston. Aston floats the ball over the top. It's not going to make touch, but it's out there on that.
Oh, that is outstanding.
Rochdale,
and that's a penalty.
And
surely.
Rochdale player looked to have been impeding the Featherstone defence there. It could have been a penalty, but he's not given it. 10 metres, so...
That was what Featherstone needed, John. It was a great attacking set. Yes, they didn't get the scrum set down.
But think where they started from, on their own 20-metre line, and they've ended up turning Rochdale round to near their own try line. But Rochdale now with the ball, 30 metres away from their own line.
Matty Haddy is back on for the Hornets.
That's the last tackle for Rochdale, and they've only made it up to the 40. That's good pressure on the kicker. And the ball's been spilt by Featherstone, though. It's going to be a knock-on and a scrum to Rochdale on the Featherstone 40. It was a bit of a flapper of a kick.
A flapper of a kick?
But it went on the floor, skidded in the mud. And I think it was an Eddie Waring term, that.
I think we're going to produce a book eventually of Joanne's catchphrases. I think we're going to have to do that, you know.
It might have been one that my dad used to say, even.
But what an opportunity here for Rochdale Hornets now, though, Joanne. We've got 8 minutes left on the clock. The Hornets have got a full set in the Rovers 40. They need to capitalise. Rovers now, it is absolutely vital for Featherstone Rovers to keep the discipline.
Certainly is, because it's... Oh, and the ball's come free, but it's gone backwards. So Rochdale still in the play with this. They bring it out to the right-hand side. But they get tackled.
Back 38
metres. Here's Middlehurst, brings it up 30 metres away. But yeah, this is penalty territory, and it's 2-point territory for Rochdale. Something that we don't want to be seen from Featherstone Rovers.
It's Jordan Case now, just outside the Rovers 20. Clear that ruck. And through the hands of Yates, there's a gap there, but quickly closed down.
Good tackle. Oh, it's moved off the mat to play that ball, referee. It comes over to the left to Rochdale. They're 2 metres short of this line. It's nail-bitey stuff. It's the last tackle. The ball is going to be played. Goes to the left and it goes into touch. So as you can hear from the Featherstone Rovers crowd in the background here, they're very happy to see that ball float into touch. Terrible pass.
Am I allowed to breathe a big sigh of relief there?
Nail-biting stuff, weren't it? I'm not sure that was the best thing that Rochdale could have done. They saw that the winger maybe had an opportunity on the left-hand side, but surely in these conditions you'd do a grubber.
You've got to do, and Johnny Davis is just down getting treatment, I think.
It's Richard Moore, another hirsutely challenged player of ours.
But, this game, Joanne, it's just so nerve-wracking, tense game.
Just talking about Richard Moore, though, he's done the full, nearly the full game. He's got 6 minutes to go. He's 36 years old. What a stint by him this afternoon.
It's been outstanding as Richard Moore. And here's Briscoe now, bringing that ball away for Rovers, so just shy of their own 30. In fact, he's on his own 30 now.
It looks to be injured, does Briscoe, as he plays the
Keil
ball.
Carlisle's now been withdrawn. The
ball's played now. Wildy with a clean shirt. He's not been in the action for a long time. He's the one who's replaced Carlisle. The ball's played. Wildy in at dummy half. He gets it to Lockwood. Lockwood taking the ball forward.
When Rovers brought Wildy in last season, I think he was brought in as a hooker.
He was. There's Aston with that kick towards touch. Is it going to make it?
Yes.
Oh, it's hit the it's hit the corner post. Skidded into touch. So it's a Rochdale scrum on their own 10-metre, and game management.
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about.
But yeah, just saying about Wildy being in a hooker. He was brought in last season to play in that hooking role before he got injured, of course, which led to the return of Andy Ellis. So he's no stranger to that position, and obviously it gives us Rovers options of having those 3 pivot players.
Certainly does. It's ever important, isn't it, in the modern game of rugby league? So Rochdale with this scrum on their own 10-metre, bring it away, but in the tackle there, Wildy, Moore and Davis pushing the player back.
Keep your discipline again. Now we've got 6 minutes left.
Rochdale there with the ball. He's after a penalty. I think that's the only avenue that they're sort of looking for to get down the field.
From the ground in frustration then.
Yeah.
Here at Rochdale then, the ball swung in field through the hands of Palfrey. It's worked out through Yates onto that far side. It's a good break, but good defence from Featherstone. Corey Aston's played well for Rovers this afternoon as well.
Oh, they're after a penalty at Rochdale. They're sort of
to get
bouncing up and down on the floor, yeah. And there's Wildy in the tackle. Obviously, he's fresh on the field with Mariano. That's the last tackle, so just inside their own half, Rochdale. It comes to Yates. Yates shows it. He puts a little chip over the top. It could be dangerous, this. But
well read by Thackeray.
Thackeray plays well there and dives on that ball.
That's a great read by Thackeray. Saw where that kick was happening. Read it superbly, got across. And Ian Hardman now. Referee struggling to get them back. That's a miles offside.
Really badly offside. I'm not sure why nobody, this touch judge in front of us isn't helping the referee out there, because Rochdale was standing a good few metres in front of the left-hand side of the ref. Anyway, here's Davis up the middle of the field.
That's a great break from Johnny Davis. Here's the last tackle now. Wildy moves it out to that right-hand side. Aston puts a kick out on the full.
And Aston was battered after he kicked the ball, but it wasn't a great kick. It was good pressure by Rochdale. So Rochdale are going to play the ball now.
Rochdale
35 metres
players
away.
down on the haunches over on this near side.
Yeah, it's a tough game out there today in the conditions.
Royal. 1,839 here this afternoon. It's a pretty good turnout for these conditions, Joanne.
Certainly is, yeah. Full credit to all these people that have braved the weather. So Rochdale here on their right-hand side, but it's wrapped up by Walton, accompanied by Lockwood. So the ball comes into the middle with Palfrey. He's holding onto the ball, goes to Yates. Yates gets it away, and Rochdale are away here. But Moore chases back and wraps the Rochdale player up. They're 15 metres away. And the ball sticks in the mud, and it's a penalty to Rochdale. They're going to go for the two surely here. It's a penalty to Rochdale. 10 or 15 metres in from that touchline, of course, they're going to go for goal.
What are Featherstone Rovers doing? 3 minutes left on the clock. Ian Hardman is speaking to, as the captain is just having a word with Mr. Hewer, asking him the question, which is well within his right to do. You know what Rochdale are going to do here.
So Rochdale with this penalty attempt, Lewis Palfrey. It was a good break down that left-hand side by Rochdale that put them in that dangerous position. Richard Moore managed to chase the Rochdale player back, haul him down. Then the next play came, and I think the penalty was given for holding down, was it?
It's signalled offside.
Oh, was it offside?
It's signalled offside at the play of the ball. So either way, it's not in front of the sticks. It's not an easy kick. It is one it should kick it. But under these conditions, under this pressure, with 2.5 minutes left on the clock.
It's a pressure kick.
It is for sure. And the Rovers fans doing their best to put him off. Here's Palfrey.
He's missed it. He's got it. He's got it. I thought it was the Featherstone fans that were shouting.
Fans that were cheering.
Oh.
We've got 2 minutes left here at the Big Fellas Stadium. And it's Featherstone Rovers 9, Rochdale Hornets 10. And Rovers now have just got to go for broke, haven't they?
Short kick-off, surely.
Short kick-off, go for go. We talked about the offloads earlier on. They've got to do now.
And it's taken well by Rochdale, is that short kick-off. So Jason Walton with the tackle on the Rochdale player. Rovers and Richard Moore in there as well.
Keep the discipline and try and get that ball back. Richard Moore getting involved with everything at the minute.
He's been a Trojan, hasn't he, this afternoon? Rochdale, of course, playing the ball very slowly. There's absolutely no hurry for them this afternoon.
Not now.
No, not now.
So over halfway to Rochdale.
So last tackle. The ball's going to go into touch here, I'm guessing, and it does. That's good play by Rochdale. It's a scrum. Featherstone Rovers running to the scrum there to set it, and it's...
I know what I do here, and I've said this to you before, and I keep getting shot down whenever I say it.
The only problem... I know what you're going to say. You're going to say a kick over the top. Yeah. The only problem is, look at the state of the pitch. The ball's not going to bounce forward, is it? It's going to stick in the mud. You'd have to have an incredible hoof forward.
Yeah, what have you got to lose? You know, we've got 30 seconds left on the clock, plus injury time. It's got to be worth. You've got to try something. Thackeray, though, finds Ian Hardman. Hardman away from one. Still going is Ian Hardman. Rovers fans wanting a penalty for offside. Here's Hardcastle now. 8 metres short of halfway. Featherstone Rovers. Here's Richard Moore now. Over halfway.
Great drive by Richard Moore.
How we'd love a penalty for offside, please. There's an attempted break from Maxton Half.
Oh, and the ball's lost loose by Matty Wildy there.
And I think that could be the game.
I think that is the game, yeah, I'm afraid. Rochdale are just going to put this ball up the jumper. Seconds left in this game. Oh, there's a Rochdale injury now. The referee stops the clock.
I'm just looking down at the timekeeper. No sign at all of anyone with a hand on a hooter. I think Featherstone Rovers are going to fall to the first defeat of the season here.
There we go. Featherstone Rovers lose the game. Featherstone Rovers 9, Rochdale Hornets 10. Look at those Rochdale players in celebration. They're over the moon. That's what it means to Rochdale this afternoon, to beat a team like Featherstone Rovers. And I think it's fair to say that they fully deserve this victory.
Defensively today, for me, Rochdale Hornets have been absolutely outstanding. In that first half, Featherstone Rovers threw so much at them and they weathered every single tackle. And Rovers, as you're about to say, couldn't get over until 15 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, it's what we saw in that second half. We saw the Chris Alunya try, didn't we? And the Aston conversion that made the scores level. Then we had that clever drop goal from Anthony Thackeray, put Featherstone in front for the first time in that game with 11 minutes left. And then that late penalty that broke Featherstone Rovers' hearts with just a minute left of the game remaining. Lewis Palfrey made sure it went over between those posts to win this game for Rochdale Hornets. So full credit to them. Shocking conditions out there. It's back to the drawing board. Sheffield Eagles away next Sunday evening.
That's a massive game now for Featherstone Rovers. They need to get back on the horse as quickly as they can. Put this down. Rovers have played well today. They've not been anywhere near the best, but they've drowned it out, which is what they've done previous weeks. Rochdale just had that little bit extra in the tank, and that penalty at the end was a killer. All credit to Rochdale defensively, but Rovers just need to get back on the horse as quickly as they can.
I would say that the Featherstone Rovers second half performance was definitely an improvement on the first half. First half, not too much composure shown, I felt, but Rochdale defence out there, those guys fully deserve it just through that defence that they got in Featherstone's faces. So thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we're going to go and get post-match reaction from the players and from the coach.
Thank you very much for Joanne for today. Been a pleasure as always, and it's full time here at the Big Fellas Stadium, and it's Featherstone Rovers 9, Rochdale Hornets 10.